Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where we get together to talk about the latest news that involves our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns. And big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to this channel and who have liked all of our previous episodes. Appreciate it. And of course, everybody who gets in the viewer comments to make their voices heard. Folks, got to tell you, big things coming up. So the membership link is now in the available on the channel. So if you want to sign up for memberships, $4.99 for a month, and then we're going to have weekly exclusive videos. We're going to have members-only live streams, all kinds of things where we can really interact in real time. That's going to be awesome. And then there'll be some other live streams we'll do publicly, but the cool stuff's going to happen. These member-only live streams that we'll do, and then also, like I said, some exclusive videos. You'll learn some things not only about me, but about the Browns, and we'll have special guests and all kinds of stuff. We're lining it up. The big meeting has been had. And so the folks at Fan Arch and I are very excited to bring you some additional content. But look for the link in the description of the show if you're interested in signing up for membership. We'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. And now, what about today's show, though, Dave? Come on, let's go. Enough with the promotions. Let's go. All right, so the Browns stud running back, Quinn Sean Judkins, has not signed his rookie deal yet. And the reason is the reason the NFL started rookie contracts in the first place. Another thing that we're going to talk about today, I'll tell you why I almost threw up in my mouth when I saw the list of the top 25 draft picks from the last 25 years. And while we're on this topic of ridiculous things, there's a trade proposal out there for the Browns that makes absolutely no sense for our favorite team. And then down in the viewer comments, someone tells us we have to do one thing for the last time. Never do it again. He's going to tell us what we need not to do anymore. We'll get to all that. But first things first, how about this Quinn Sean Judkins situation? Is it a situation? Most likely not, but here's the deal. So he hasn't signed his rookie deal. It's projected to be a 4-year, because remember, they're on a scale. It's based on where you're picked. 4 years, 11.4 with a signing bonus of 4.9. Now that signing bonus typically guaranteed, so it'll cover the 25 through 28 seasons. Now, here's the problem. We're only a couple of weeks from training camp. He doesn't have his contract signed because here's who we can blame. The Houston Texans signed wide receiver Jaden Higgins, their 34th overall pick, to a fully guaranteed contract. And then what did we do? Hey, we're involved in this too. We gave linebacker Carson Schweschinger, the 33rd overall pick, a fully guaranteed deal. So now, what do you think the 34th and the 36th picks are going to, the 34th, the 5th and the 36th picks are going to do? They're going to say, well, they got guaranteed contracts. Shouldn't we? Judkins, the 36th pick. Seattle's Nick Emanwari also involved in this because he was the 35th pick. And so they want guaranteed money. I'm sure their agents are going to ba-ba-ba. And especially with Judkins, since Schwessinger is on the same team. So this is I don't want to call it a battle, but this is a discussion, a negotiation about the guaranteed money. And the thing that makes me nuts about this, there could be like the wording of the clauses and things, but I don't think so. When you've got the 34th, the 33rd and the 34th pick got guaranteed money. If you're 35 and 36, yeah, you're going to say, hold on a minute. I need guaranteed money. That's what I think it's all about. Now, here's the thing. The reason they did rookie contracts in the first place is to stop wasting money. These teams, back in 2011 is when we first saw these rookie contracts. And they did it to because of escalating rookie salaries, right? The top picks kept commanding these contracts worth tens of millions, and sometimes like they were getting paid more than proven stars. These guys haven't even stepped on a field yet, and they're getting more money than some of the stars in the league. And so that poses a financial risk for teams, right? So they're forced to commit these large sums to unproven players, and then these players would underperform, or they get their bag and they, like Johnny Manziel, they get their bag and they just, they just cash it in. Like, they stop caring. And then you also have discontent among the veterans. That's why they got these rookie contracts going, because the established players sometimes earn less than the unproven rookies, and it's caused problems in the locker room and all kinds of stuff. Like, so I bring this up because it's like, who started giving the rookies guaranteed money? Like, where did this come from? Like, we're working against ourselves here, people. And so now, at least there's no holdouts. He was there for OTAs and everything. But if we keep this up, because the rookies drafted in the first round, not unheard of for them to get guaranteed money. But now we're slipping into the second round. What's next? Third round rookies? We're going to be right back to where we started if somebody doesn't pay attention. And so that's what this is all about. I am confident they will have it all worked out. Either before training camp or during training camp. So I would not worry so much about Quinn Sean Judkins and the contract. Now, this you need to worry about. The top 25. So Yahoo Sports did this thing. The top 25 draft picks in the last 25 years. And what they're saying, okay, it could still be a first round pick, but maybe not necessarily like a number one overall, because that should be a slam dunk pick. But these are picks like maybe a late first round. Maybe you made a trade up to get somebody like the Browns did with Shedeur. You possibly, maybe it was like third day draft value, third round pick. Something like Travis Kelce's on this list. He was a third round pick. But here, I'll show you the top of the list. And then included on this screen, and this you're going to see in a second, is the guy who was named the 25th. Out of 25 draft picks, the best, the top ones of the last 25 years, I almost threw up in my mouth when I saw Bo Nix on there. Brady, completely get number one. Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Brown. I mean, you can't argue. Mahomes is on there on the list. I don't remember where they are. Julio Jones, Kirk Cousins, those guys are on there. How the heck does Bo Nix get on? He is the... Hold on. I've got some Browns that are much better candidates for that 25th spot. But let's let Yahoo Sports plead their case. They say maybe it's too early to judge this one. You think, Yahoo Sports? But the reason it's on the list is that the Broncos had conviction on the player, drafted him well before anyone thought they should, and ended up with a quarterback who looks like their long-awaited answer at the position. Nix played well as a rookie and helped the Broncos to the playoffs. We'll remember the pick for Sean Payton's clarity, and not just about every analyst who thought it was crazy for Denver to take the sixth quarterback in the class at number 12 overall. So, I don't think that makes him a top pick in the last 25 years. There's nothing you're going to say to me that gets me to say it. But I say to you, well, what about Joe Thomas? He was third overall for Bernard Brown. Myles Garrett was first overall. I mean, we're not really talking about it. Denzel Ward was the fourth overall. But how about this? How about Nick Chubb? To me, Nick Chubb is way more deserving for that 25th spot than Bo Nix. Or how about Joe Bitonio? We just talked about him the other day. Analysts say he could be the best guard in football. Like, if it wasn't for Zach Martin, like why isn't he 25th? Like, this is insane. When I saw this, I could not believe it. I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense. So I had to share it with you so I could vent a little bit, get it off my chest. Top 25. Get out of here, man. Top 25. Now, speaking of ridiculous, you want to hear the most ridiculous trade proposal we have heard in the preseason so far? This is how you could tell people are running out of things to talk about, folks. I mean, because we're like getting, the closer we get to training camp, the well just keeps drying up. Because we're running out of things to say, apparently. Because wait until you hear this trade put together by somebody named Cody Benjamin with CBS Sports. Now, what they were trying to do is, because the NBA, we always have these crazy like 3-team trades and all this stuff, because, NBA was hot there because, we have the draft and you have all these trades. The Cavs picked up Lonzo Ball and all this stuff happens, and with the free agents and this and that. So anyway, they were trying to do this because this just doesn't happen really in the NFL. So, but they were trying to make it happen. Now, I'm all for that. I love that idea. That's why I was like, I'm gonna check this out. Let's see what they got. But when I saw this is the only trade proposal that we were involved in, and I have a feeling there may have been a second grader who put this together. I'm not sure. But here's the deal. They were calling this trade the whiteout whammy. And it's the Bengals, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Browns. The Bengals end up with Justin Jefferson and our guy who we just signed, defensive end Julian Akwara. So they're going to get our guy. The Vikings will get T. Higgins, our guy, cornerback Craig Newsome, a 2026 first-round pick from the Bengals, and a 2026 third-round pick from the Lions. The Lions get Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. And then what do we get out of all this? A 4th-round draft pick from the Lions. I'm like, who put this together? Who sat there and looked at this and said, yeah, this makes sense. The Browns will give up 2 players and two guys who could potentially start. I think Newsome you could consider a starter. Well, they'll give both those guys up and they'll get a 4th-round pick from the Lions. That seems fair. I was like, come on, people, man. Come on. We are struggling here. This is just, it is just absolutely insane. But I wanted to share that with you just to let you know we are running out of things to talk about here. So there's not much to report on, especially as you get closer to the weekend and you get closer to training camp. And so when I saw that, I'm like, come on, we got to do better than that. We're going to play make-believe trade proposals. We got to do way better than that. Now, one thing that is never ridiculous, the viewer comments. And today we start with Keith Greer, 462. This is what we teased at the top. He says, for the last time, Kevin Stefanski has never in his life developed a quarterback. Why do people keep saying Stefanski will develop a quarterback? Well, you know what, Keith Greer? You know why? Because this is Believe Land. And one of these days it's going to happen. And I think it's going to start next week when training camp starts. So how do you like them apples, Keith? We'll see. I mean, he had Baker. Like, look what, he's got Flacco, although Flacco had all the experience coming up. Like, not that he developed Flacco, but I mean, he had a good little, they had some chemistry going there. But I think he had a little bit to do with Baker, maybe. But we'll see. We talked about this, Keith Greer. This is his chance. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, his offense, his play calls, blah, blah, blah. This is on Coach Stefanski. Tim Harsh, 5896 says, it seems to me the last few seasons we've started the season injured. Well, let's not think about that. Let's focus on the fact that we are as healthy as we've ever been in a long time. Heading into this season, especially the offensive line, and we have some viable backups, and same with the quarterback room. Like we haven't been this deep in the quarterback room, and I don't know how long, so it's nice. But you're right. We always seem to be going limping into a season, but not this year. We are healthy. Lots of guys. Everybody's going to be back, ready to go for training camp. Now this is great because the YouTube handle is Doggy Bone. But if you remember, this was a few weeks ago, I tried to use one of his takes, and what had happened was I couldn't pronounce it because it was like Uraim Shatek or something, and he says, hey, this is Uraim Shatek. I changed my name to Doggy Bone since you couldn't pronounce it the last time, LOL. But I believe Shedeur will be the starting quarterback when it's all said and done. He said, but they do need to look into Will Shepard as a cheap wide receiver option. If I'm not mistaken, the Browns never drafted a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, we do, but they're like Corey Coleman, guys like that, Muhammad Massaquoi, guys who never pan out. That's who we take in the 2nd round. And then we'll end on Mo, Ohio, who says, tell the goofballs running fan arts to stop with the over-sensational clickbait crap. Fans don't want this nonsense. It makes you and your channel seem incredible. Set yourself apart from the copycat sports channels and be real. Hey, listen, we've talked about the thumbnails before. Here's the deal. Get through the thumbnail, actual and factual. I'm here for infotainment. Actual and factual. I always strive for actual and factual. But thank you for the recommendation, Mo Ohio. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.